Howdy. It's kind of been a while since last podcast. Been probably a few months, but we got summer break now and no more finals, so we can start pumping out more episodes. So I'd like to welcome you to season 2, episode 1 of Asian Nation Podcast. Yay! Typically there's like multiple of us, like just a group of friends that does this podcast. But I wanted to do something different, and um, might be a little weird since I'm doing it, but I'm gonna be doing it solo. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, like I said, I wanted to try something different. Um, and as the episode name, title, or whatever says, I'm gonna be talking about senioritis, but a different form of it. To those who don't know what senioritis is I'll give you the Google definition first. It's a supposed affliction of student in their final year of high school or college, characterized by a decline in motivation or performance. So basically, to sum it up, they're just like, "Oh, I'm a senior now. I'm basically done with high school. I got good grades. I'm basically done. So I'm just gonna take a break and basically not try." Um, Honestly, I've had people who's had this since freshman year, and they're like, "I'm just not gonna try at all anymore, and I just give up." But I feel like this hits people, but I mean, it could hit anyone, in various forms. Like some could be more drastic than others. Me personally, I it hit me towards finals, which is probably the worst time. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I got into college or whatever. I already know what my life is like. I don't really care too much anymore. That doesn't mean I didn't stop trying per se. Like I still got the grades I wanted, all A's. Not trying to flex here or anything, but I really did feel unmotivated. And yeah, it's like I would think it's a real thing. My principal said it's a real thing. Maybe it's not a real thing. Who knows? But that's what current form of senioritis is. But I think there's a new form of it, and it's already been going around. I'm pretty sure, and maybe there's already terms for these of what I'm going to describe. But I want to talk about and coin these new forms of senioritis, and it may hit others harder. Maybe it might not hit you at all. But this first form of senioritis I want to talk about is basically um like missing out or just missing high school, I guess, in general. Like there's probably gonna be people already that's like, oh my god, I'm so glad that high school's over. And honestly, I am too. But I I'm definitely gonna miss it, you know? Um I wanted to do this podcast just because I've just seen a lot of people um kind of go through the same things, and it's honestly hit me pretty hard. Like I'm not trying to share too many details, but like, I spent a lot of nights just up thinking about this, and I just wanted to throw it out there, I guess, and just talk about it. Like I said, there might be already a term or something for this already, but maybe this could be the new senioritis, like type 2 or something. um so like I said, I'm what I've been thinking about at nights is thinking about memories with friends, teachers, classmates, all the clubs I was in, all the like parades the school hosted, all the events, and I'm gonna miss that. There's gonna be no more of that. There's It's mainly with friends. It's just thinking about how there will no longer be a chance to, just hit up my friends, the people that's in this podcast, because we all live fairly closely. Like I could literally walk over to a friend's house in like 5 minutes. There's gonna be no more just hitting them up and being like, "Yo, let's go get some boba." I can't hit them up and be like, yo, let's all play spike ball. Let's all go on a fishing trip. Let's all play football. Let's go on a bike. There's gonna be no more of that. I'm thinking about how, holy crap, like that one kid that sat next to me in my calc class, I won't see him. Like, even though he wasn't necessarily a close friend, he was still a friend because, like, we literally knew no one in the class, and we were just like, "Hey, you look like a loner. Let's do these projects together." I think those are probably the most underrated people ever. But yeah, just thinking about how, like, oh, I won't be waking up in the mornings to fill up my day. Like, there's gonna be a lot of days I feel like where it's just gonna be like, crap, I don't have school to go to. It's really weird just to think like my last day of school was last week, and I mean, I'm lucky because I have a job, but it's like I can't imagine what those who don't have a job is like. Like, I had that routine for pretty much, my whole life, and now you're gonna transition to something where you're just gonna only have school like 2 to 3 times a week, and the other times I guess I'll have a job, but it's still crazy because I think what made school was the interaction of others and making relationships with friends or with your teachers. Like, it hit me really hard when my like I will no longer see my favorite teacher, and that was crazy because he was the one that set me up with a lot of things. Like, it was a CNC class, but which is basically just like machining class. We made some cool, like we designed it and stuff with SolidWorks, and we machined it out, 3D printed it out. He was such a good mentor to me. He even like got me through hard times. I'm not gonna lie, but I won't see him no more. Yeah, maybe I'll be visiting him, and hopefully we do a fishing trip one day. But that's just, I'll just say he's like not in my life anymore. That's sad. It's like pretty frightening. I would even say depressing to just basically lose 75% of the people, maybe even more, maybe less, of the people that was in your life every day or every other day, depending on what schedule you was for school. And that's what is scary because I basically had to reset everything. Like, I was like going to middle school or the next grade or even into high school, I would get asked like, "Are you ready? Oh my god, are you excited for middle school? Oh my god, are you excited for high school?" It's like, "Oh, are you scared?" My response was always like, "Eh." Like, I had that mindset of I have to do it anyways, like why should I care about? I'm not excited nor am I happy about it. I'm just like, it's I mean, it's just something that we all go through. But this hit me different. I don't know why. Maybe maybe it's because I still had those people when I was transitioning to those different like grades or whatever. Like, I still have my friends around me. I s- I you know, I was still able to chill with them, but this is different cuz they won't be with me, and I'm very grateful and consider myself very lucky to have such a great friend group and such a great um community with me. And I would almost even say that I'm pretty dependent on them, like if I'm ever a time like, oh, I'm bored or whatever, or it's just I need to talk to someone, they're always there just to even, watch the sunset with me, get boba with me, go fishing with me, bike ride or whatever. They're gonna be there, but it won't be like that anymore. Or at least for a while, because like I said, you have to basically make new friends. And I was told that you make your lifelong friends in college. Like I hope that's true, but I'm really hoping that my current friends now is I still keep in contact with them. Like most of them are going to be in like the same state, but like I said, they're hours away, and it's like they're not gonna. I'm not gonna see them every day at school. I won't be able to like meet up with them during lunch or in the mornings on the weekends. Like we're gonna have to plan it out and everything, and that sucks because I feel like if you aren't able to do those, you kind of lose that relationship with them, and I don't want to do that. I mean, it might happen, but it's gonna suck. And I'm definitely over dramatizing this, but like I said, it sucks, and I know there's people thinking about it too, but like I said, it hit me pretty hard, and I just wanted to get it out there. Um, what else? Oh, I kind of have like not a script, but some points I want to talk about. But I think this form of senioritis is pretty universal. I would say, like, let's think of, for example, um, like let's say you're moving to a new job or something, like, and you've been at this current job for years and years and years, but the new one, better opportunity and stuff. And let's say you don't necessarily hate this job, you actually enjoyed it, but the next one, let's say, just gives you better pay or better benefits or something. You're, I feel like some people might be a little sad about leaving that job because they made good colleagues. They maybe had some cool benefits at that job that the new one won't provide. And they're going to feel a little like not as empty as how I was feeling about this, but they're going to be a little, like stressed out, maybe even. And I guess that just shows that how humans don't necessarily like change, and it's hard. I mean, we always adapt, but at first it's stressful. Um, but yeah, I think that's cool about this form. There's probably, like I keep saying, there's probably a word for this already, but um, I think it's cool how this form is can apply to other things. And I guess the greatest common factor is just not being able to, like, you're kind of losing something, you know. And people don't like losing something, but something you've grown really attached to, and it's just gonna be gone. It came so fast. Like when people say high school goes by so quick or whatever goes by, it's true. Like I can't believe it's already going to college, and it's literally crazy. Um, but yeah, I I wish I had that old mindset of just like not really being phased by it about it, but like I said, it did phase me. Um, I literally wish I was able to like research about like I don't know, maybe like the psychology behind it or something. Maybe even post some stats or something. But I've been wanting to do this for probably 4 weeks. I'm not gonna lie. It was just on my mind for so long, and I never got a chance. Like I wrote out this, I guess, bullet points. It's not necessarily a script. Like our podcast, we don't do a script. We mainly, like, unless you're the host, you have like we have points that we want to talk about. But I wrote this out a while ago. I just never got the chance to get to it, and I'm just like, screw it. I'll just talk about whatever's on my mind. So yeah, that was the one of the forms about of the new senioritis is just miss like having that fear and just already going to miss your friends and just high school or whatever's you're leaving behind in general. Um, but I mean, I'm pretty glad I was able to change my mindset about it. Because the way I see it, it's like when one door closes, another one opens. Like all my friends now, just or even friends in the past, just I just gotta make the most out of it and just cherish those memories. Basically, I can't be making myself, I guess, miserable about it. It's like pretty hard. It was pretty hard to do that in the beginning, but now I'm just like, hell, I got a whole summer, man. Like, let's make the most out of it. Let's go fishing as much as we can, play as much games, make as much podcasts. Like these podcasts were meant, or at least the reason I created it, because we've always wanted to do a podcast was to bring us closer together. And it's pretty ironic because I'm doing it alone. But the reason the podcast was created was to bring us together, have a few laughs, and maybe I really hope that if anything, this podcast will bring me and my friends and whoever together and just we keep communicating to each other, keep having a relationship. Um and with current society or current days technology, it's like, we got so many things to communicate. So easy. Got it started off with freaking like birds and carrying letters and crap, but and freaking fire and Morse code. But now we got texting, FaceTimes, Discord, we got gaming. We got everything. And there should be no excuse for us to not talk to each other. But like I said, it's gonna be hard to, or a little sad that I won't be able to see them in the mornings, or like not be able just to hit them up and say, let's go watch the sunset together or something. It's it's a little sad, but I hope that, like I said, I hope that we stay together and I'll just make the most out of this summer and see what happens. Like I said, I'm probably dramatizing about it, and once the time comes where everyone moves and stuff, it's not like everyone's moving at once. It's gonna be one by one, but maybe I'll be perfectly fine. Maybe we'll be stressed out about it. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I hope that whether it be like, you know, couples separating because of schools, or like in my situation, friends separating, or whatever's, I'm lucky because I'm gonna stay in town, and I'm really lucky that I'm gonna be at least with my family. I It's kind of sad because I don't know what I would do without him. So maybe some people are like, "Oh, I'm so ready to go out on my own," but with me, I genuinely enjoy the people around me, and so at least I like, not at least, but I still got my family with me. Um, but yeah, it's crazy to think about because we're like only 18, 19 or whatever, lived like not even a fifth of our life. So the way I'm thinking of seeing it now is just like, how I just I just wish the best for everyone, kind of thing. And it's not like I'm never gonna talk to them in the future, but I'll just make the most out of it and have a more positive mindset about it. Um, the second form of senioritis, um, is it kind of ties back to, um, I guess it ties to this whole thing being alone, I guess. But I think at this stage, a lot of seniors, if not every senior, is trying to figure out their identity and place in this world, or even just like what they're gonna do in the future. Um, and definitely everyone's gone through this. Like, even people going through like existential crisis or something, they're like, what is my purpose in the world? But it's like genuinely a pretty sad thing to go through. I With me, I'm pretty lucky because I've I already have a goal and a plan set up. But seeing my friends and just others around me just stressing out about what they're gonna do in the future and like what they want to be is it's really sad to see them go through it. Um, and that was the other form of senioritis. It's just stressing out of your plans. Like, oh, is this really a right plan for me? Is this am I gonna be successful in the future? Um, like what am I gonna do? This is right for me, kind of thing. Like that's a new form of senioritis. And I was watching the YouTuber Sisyphus 55. I like I like that guy a lot. It was pretty cool. But anyways, he came out with an episode called something like Don't Rush It or something like that. And he was saying basically I wanted to talk about this. And he was saying don't rush it pretty much as the his title implied. Like take a semester or two off, you know, and just figure out what you want to do. In current society, we're always like, you should have a bachelor's degree at this time, master's or whatever degree. You should have a family at this time. You should have a house at this time. You should have a job at like all of that. And yeah, it's somewhat it's pretty stressful because it's always that mindset of keeping up with the Jones. And what I say to that is screw it. Like it's your life and people have their own pace at doing at things. Like some people's gotta work harder at their goals, some people than others. And taking that semester or two off and figuring yourself out and having that productive self development, I think it's so much more worth it than just jumping straight into college and stressing yourself out, wasting thousands of dollars and just ending up not enjoying what you were trying to do because you just rushed it and you were just pressured by, let's say, like your friends or your family or whatever. I think it's a lot more worth it. Just take time for yourself and just, you know, um, think about it. Think about it really hard on what you want to do because, like I said, it's your life. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's gonna be suffering if anything happens. Yeah, like if they're pressuring you, like, oh, be a doctor or something, or be something that's gonna guarantee you a safe place. Like, and if you don't enjoy it, yeah, they'll like your parents might be proud or your friends might be impressed, but it's you who's suffering and it's your life. So really think about it. And it's definitely hard, like I said, with the pressure of today's society of keeping up with the Jones. But like I said, screw it, your life. um, I I wish I came up with other forms of senioritis. Maybe there's more that's already out there that seniors or most seniors go through. But I just wanted to get this episode out there because I, f- I guess I grew the guts of doing this alone, and it's kind of awkward, honestly, doing it alone. But it's kind of nice to get your mind across it, and you start thinking a lot more differently if you like speak it out loud. But yeah, we're gonna try and do different forms of podcasts. It's kind of I'm kind of surprising my other friends about this. They don't even know I'm doing this, but hopefully more podcasts out. We're already on season 2. It's gonna be sick. Uh, assuming this does get big, I don't. I honestly, like I said, this was just for us. But I mean, maybe it'd be cool if like this got a little popular, it got some views or something. I don't know. Who knows if this grows or not? Even if it doesn't, even if we're the only ones that, like my friends and I, are the only ones that listen to it, we're doing it just because it's something cool to do, and maybe that one person that comes out and that one random listener starts listening to this, his only message for you is just to find something, do something that you actually genuinely enjoy. I guess that's just been the moral of that last form of senioritis. But the first one is just, I guess, the moral of the story of the first senioritis is to cherish what you love and just make the most out of things. So yeah, thanks for listening, and that is Asian Nation episode 1, season 2. Maybe we'll change the name. Who knows? Because it's pretty cancel. Like that's cancel worthy. I mean, who knows? Maybe like in the future something happens and they just pull up this our podcast or something and try to cancel. I don't know. I don't know what happens. That was my only fear of like posting things because oh my god, what if I get canceled? But I don't see anything that's like that could get us canceled unless we freaking say like pretty bad things. I don't know. Like our title could probably be bad enough, but I don't know. Like good amount of us aren't even Asian. That's the funny thing. Probably most of us aren't, but I don't even know where that name from. But I'm just going on a tangent now. All right, I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you. Bye bye.